So, Zama, lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much. It's awesome to be here.
What's bringing you to the Cannes Film Festival? What are your objectives here?
Well, what's bringing South Africa to Cannes is, or what's bringing National Film and Video Foundation to Cannes is actually the objective of bringing South Africa to the rest of the world. We've been doing this for the past 13 years in terms of bringing South Africa to the rest of the world. And this time particularly we're excited that we are bringing South Africa, not just for the sake of South Africa, but we're here to say we're open for business. We're here to say we want to attract more business, more investments towards our shores, for the purposes of making more film. But we're also saying to the world, hey, we've got lots of products and a lot of content that will be of interest to your audiences.
And what makes South Africa unique to entice filmmakers to come and make their films?
Well, there's a couple of things. We are lucky in many ways. I think starting off with the very first big advantage is that our government takes film quite seriously, and they have not just paid lip service to that, but they have actually made significant investment in the film industry. And so it's always nice, to go into a country where the government itself takes the industry seriously. And the way that they've done that is they've made certain, a lot of incentives for filmmakers to be able to be attracted and come and make films in our country. So our Department of Trade and Industry engages and offers a lot of incentives for foreign filmmakers to come and shoot in our country. But over and above the money side, which is a great advantage because we've got the incentives as well as we've got our, our exchange rate. I think it still makes shooting in our country very, very competitive. But over and above that, obviously, it's the locations. You can find a whole variety of locations in our country, from the countryside to the desert to the fantastic beach. I mean, we've got the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean right within 2 minutes of each other at most. So, you can get the sceneries. We can even find a piece of India. We've got the biggest Indian population outside India, and that is found in Durban. So, we've got our locations are quite something that is attractive. But also over and above that, we've got fantastic crew. We've got crew that really, is able to produce first-class work, and that makes life easy. So you don't have to bring your whole crew to shoot in South Africa. You can just bring your script and maybe your one director and your key cast, and we are ready to go.
Because you can benefit from local knowledge.
Oh yes, and also I think the experience, from the producers in our country in working with international producers, I think enables you to find producers that you can partner with in South Africa that are quite familiar with the local landscape, but also are familiar with how to service and be in forming partnerships with international producers.
And with regards to your own productions that you've brought here, can you talk to us about some of the titles that you've got at Cannes?
Well, we've got quite a variety that we're excited about. It flows from comedy all the way to fantastic documentaries. We even have some westerns that are in production. We've got some crime thrillers as well. So I think we've got a mixed bag of content that we have. We've got Bliss Patrol is the comedy that we were screening earlier today, but also we've got one of the documentaries, Devil's Lair. It just came back from Hot Docs, and it got such a fantastic reception there, and there's something that we are quite excited about. But another one is called Black Southeaster. This is a crime thriller that is set in Cape Town, and it taps into the whole Chinese ring, all the dark shady side of trading in not in the rhino horns, but it's something similar. But it's fantastic because we've got all these stories that are exploring the creativity that can come out of our country, that is not necessarily just documentaries, which previously was the foundation of our filmmaking. But you can see now that our filmmakers are graduating into producing some fantastic creative fiction stuff, and that is competitive with the rest of the world.
Are you covering plot for peace as well?
We're covering
a plot for peace?
Yes. We're also covering that, and that once again I think it shows the kind of wide range that is available. One thing also that we're proud of is, the closing film for Cannes was shot in South Africa. It's called Zulu. It was shot all in South Africa, and it's based on a South African story. And that is, I think, is a way of showing, you know, the variety of offerings that can come out of South Africa, and what can, you can have stories that are purely South African, or you can have stories that are based in South Africa, but they're not necessarily telling South African stories, but they're using, you know, South Africa as a location. So there's a lot that that you can benefit. Yeah.
And with regards to any special announcements, is there anything that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think one thing we're excited about is that that our country, South Africa, have signed a cultural agreement with France, in terms of which this year in 2013 there's going to be a South Africa focus in France, and that is going to be made up of a whole lot of events that are going to be taking place throughout France for the whole 2013 around culture, but also for cinema. So what we wanted to do for cinema is that we do not only want to make events, but we also want to make sure that business comes out of these events. So earlier this morning we had a South African focus at Cine du Monde, and we had French producers. We had a room full of over 20 film producers that are keen to do business with South Africa. And so those producers, we were able to just tell them about the benefits of doing business in South Africa, and hopefully, you know, coming out of that with the filmmakers that we have brought with us as well. I mean, this year we have over 150 filmmakers. So I think that is something that is brewing, that's something that we're cooking, and we're hoping that we're going to bring out at least 10 projects that are going to benefit from the treaty.